That this issue of addiction comes from very different sources. Sometimes it's prescription drugs. 4 out of 5 heroin addicts in Ohio, they say, started with prescription drugs. Some of you have read Dreamland by Sam Quinones. It's a book that talks about that history, no question about it. Today we have a new danger that's poisoning our communities, and it is what Jim talked about. It's these synthetic drugs. It's fentanyl, it's synthetic heroin, it's carfentanil, U4. When you look at what happened in Akron last week, what happened in Cincinnati a few weeks ago, where you had this huge spike in overdoses and sadly in overdose deaths, this can be traced back to these synthetic drugs that are coming in. A few flakes of carfentanil ingested will kill us. It can kill a human being. That's how powerful this is. They say it's 100 times more powerful than the heroin on the street sometimes. So we need to do more in terms of recovery and prevention and treatment across the board, but specifically we've got a problem right now. They tell us that this stuff is coming in by mail. They tell us it's mostly coming from China. They tell us there are evil chemists and scientists in laboratories there who are literally shipping this poison into our communities by the mail. So the new legislation that we're proposing that would be complementary to CARA is to say, at the least, let's be sure we know what's coming into our country. Let's be sure that just like UPS and FedEx and these other private carriers have to provide information about where the package is coming from, what's in it, and where it's going, let's do the same with the mail service to try to stop some of this poison from coming into our communities. That's what the STOP Act is all about. I know that many of you are here today because you're supporting friends and family members and loved ones. And although all of us believe that prevention and education is so important, with the number of addicts we have in Ohio today and the number of tragedies we have there, Narcan is also really important. Narcan, this form of naloxone, is being used to save lives every single day. 174 people overdosed in my hometown of Cincinnati in 6 days a few weeks ago. Tragic, but it's amazing that only 4 or 5 people tragically lost their lives. And the reason they didn't is that Narcan was used and used effectively to save those lives. Our legislation provides more Narcan to help to lower the cost, to help to provide the training, to continue to save lives. By the way, those who had heroin mixed with fentanyl or carfentanil, sometimes it took 4 or 5 or even 6 doses of Narcan, according to the first responders I talked to. But God bless those first responders, to the police officers, the firefighters, or the first responders who are out here today. Thank you for saving lives every day. Keep it up. We need you there. By the way, no one wants to get people into treatment more than them, because they deal with it every day, don't they? Just like the rest of us, they understand the importance of changing this whole paradigm. Jim talked a little about it. We've got to remove the stigma, because when the stigma of addiction is removed, more people come forward to get the treatment that they need. And that is so critically important. We also need to understand that addiction is a disease, and it should be treated like a disease. The legislation, the CARA legislation, has these programs for recovery high schools, for our veterans, for drug courts. It does a lot for pregnant women and for babies who are born with dependency, but the biggest thing it does, I think, is it says addiction is a disease. Let's change the paradigm and start treating it like that. And if we do, we will save lives, and we will begin to turn the tide in this epidemic that faces our state and our nation.